just the context of the Epistle of James is obviously so different from, Romans or Galatians. It's just evident that James is not about soteriology. I mean, that's not the primary point of the book. That's not the genre of the book. It's essentially a piece of New Testament wisdom literature. And there is, strangely, no explicit mention of the cross in James. And James is really dealing with behavior in the church. I mean, that's evident throughout the entire book. But here he specifically, highlights how you demonstrate. I mean, he says, I will show you my faith by my works. And he's giving specific examples in a congregation of how, people act as hypocrites. They say, go and be fed and don't actually feed anybody. They don't actually help anybody. I mean, the context seems pretty evident. And I think it's really, we get hung up on that word justification because that's the phrase, that's the term that he uses. But we do have, even in Scripture, other places where justification is not tied to this, kind of explicit soteriological definition that we tend to give it in dogmatics. Like when Jesus says wisdom is justified by her children. Right. This is to say that wisdom is vindicated. That there is a wise person or a wise saying when it actually bears some fruit to demonstrate the wisdom. And so we know that the term has that meaning. And that's why I've said, really, we could translate the term in the same way there to say vindicated, because that's what Jesus is talking about. And so I think what James is really saying is that Abraham was vindicated by his works. And we see all this language in Paul of before God, right? That language is used all throughout Romans, and we don't see that kind of language reiterated in the book of James.